everybody, welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie. Thank you for joining me again this week. I'm really looking forward to making some of these projects using the new press-on stamp set from the upcoming August through December mini catalog. Now let me just refresh my Facebook page here so that I can follow along with your comments. If you're watching live, make sure to comment so I know that you're following along with me. Make sure to say hi if you are watching on replay via YouTube or here on Facebook. And let me just know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where everybody is following along and joining me today. I cannot believe it's Monday already. Where did the weekend go? It seems like it was just Friday and then just Saturday, and Sunday just flew by. So I am excited that it's Monday. I actually like Mondays because I get to create projects step by step together with you, and it's always fun to see everybody during our COVID time. So I have some announcements first. If you are watching this video, make sure to share it and comment that you shared so that you can be entered in my weekly drawing for an embellishment. Last week I had Kathy Robinson share my video, and last week's prize was the new iridescent pearls that are coming to the new August through December mini catalog. So Kathy, look for these in the mail. I'm excited to send these to you. If you recognize the name, actually Kathy won the previous week as well because she shared my video then. So if you want a chance to win this week's prize, make sure to comment that you shared the video, because sometimes it doesn't tell me everybody that shared it, and make sure to share so I know that you did. All right, so congratulations, Kathy. She gets the iridescent pearls from the new catalog. Let me go ahead and switch our camera here so I can show you the new August class. So this was posted on this Saturday, previous Saturday, I posted our new August class. And this is to go, and just like the last couple of months with our classes, we have 3 projects, but these will be doubled, so you make 6 cards here. And we are featuring the Seaside View stamp set. Now this was voted as the fan favorite stamp set for August's class in my Create with Stampin' Blondie Facebook group. Now this is a private group that I have here on Facebook. If you are wanting to be added to that, let me know and I can add you to the group. But we did a poll back in July between 4 different stamp sets, and Seaside View was the winner. So for this month, we are creating watercolor cards. So there's 4 different class options to work with your budget. So if you already own the Seaside View stamp set, there's an option for that. But the full class, option 1, you get everything you see here and paper to create 6 cards. So there's 6 cards that you'll be making. And we're going to be featuring the watercolor pencils. Now these are not new watercolor pencils. They've been in our annual catalog, but they may have been looked over a little bit because they're in the back of our catalog. And we are actually going to be using these watercolor pencils in kind of an untraditional way. So this is called a blender pen, and what it does is it softens up the lines from coloring. So if I can bring this up a little higher here, you may be able to see it, but these colors are muted. They're not as you know, when you color and you get those harsh lines, this blends those lines together. So in your class kit, you'll get the Seaside View stamp set, the pack of watercolor pencils, a blender pen, and all of the project supplies, as well as a step-by-step tutorial and a private YouTube link that you can watch as I work out the project step by step as well. So this is, registration will go until August 15th. So you have 2 weeks to sign up for this. And then on the class description, to sign up, all the details are on the description of this video. So you can find the link with all the options for the class. But the class will ship the last week of August. The 15th through the 22nd, I will be out of town. So the last week of August, this will ship. And all the details on that are on the blog post as well. So if you're interested in the Seaside View stamp set kit, all details can be found in the description of this video and all 4 options for whatever works with your crafting budget. So I hope you can join me for August class, especially because this was the fan favorite stamp set. So I really hope everybody likes what I have put together for you. All right. Next, as a reminder, we have our weekly host code listed here. If you're interested in placing an order for any of the products that you see here today, make sure to put in that host code and I will send you a little extra goodie for your order. But today, we are going to be featuring these 2 products, featuring the Press On stamp set from the new August through December mini catalog. Now, I keep saying this catalog is coming soon, and you're saying, it's August. What the heck, lady? It actually starts tomorrow. So this new catalog, I have it right here. This new catalog here debuts tomorrow. And while I can't show you the inside just yet, just like in the previous weeks that I've showed this to you, tomorrow is the big day that I can show you everything. And I'm just so giddy. I'm really looking forward to creating some great projects with these items here. So we've got our August through December mini catalog here, and we are going to be using some projects featuring the Press On stamp set, which is right here. So this stamp set is a cling mounted stamp set, meaning it is traditional red rubber. It is, I hope you guys can see this. So I'm frozen on my Facebook, which I'm watching live along with you guys. So let me know if I'm frozen. If not, this is all recorded so you can watch it later. Let me just refresh to see if that does anything, and then I can see if I'm still live. So let me know if I'm still live and you guys can see me here. Let me see if I can bring that up. There, it looks like I'm live. All right, so this is the Press On stamp set from the August through December mini catalog. Like I said, traditional red rubber, and we are gonna be creating these 2 projects here today. So the first one I'm going to do is a watercolor wash card. And for this, I wanted to kind of look like it was some spilled coffee on this project. So this, we're gonna be doing watercoloring, and I'm gonna make this project first just because while I need to use my heat gun, I'm going to be trying to let this dry just a little bit more as well. Now this second project is my favorite. So this is a little K-cup holder here, and you can easily change out the K-cups back and forth. But this stamp set I paired with a little bit of cotton on here to make it look like some steamy foam at the top of this. And it says a cup of thanks, which is perfect because it fits one little K-cup. And you could put this in a little cellophane bag and just give this to somebody as a gift. And it's perfect for COVID right now, I think. Coffee, tea, they even have iced tea K-cups. So this is perfect for whatever the person likes. Hot chocolate, they have hot chocolate K-cups too. Now, as a reminder, all of the project details can be found in the PDF in the description of this video. So this has all of the item names, item numbers, and the price of the items that I used. At the bottom down here, we have the dimensions of the paper that I cut to use for the products. So as I'm working along with the project, you don't need to write anything down, because with this PDF paired with the video, you can easily work through the projects together. So let's go ahead and get started with our first project. I am going to bring in a piece of grid paper here since we're going to be doing some watercoloring today. And for this project, let me bring it into focus so you guys can see on it here. I am using a piece of Whisper White cardstock. let me just get this here. That's cut at 5.5 by 8.5. So I just took a piece of regular 8.5 by 11 cardstock and cut it right down the middle and scored it. Now this watercolor paper that I'm going to be using today, it is in between Very Vanilla and Whisper White. So I used Whisper White, but you could easily pair this project with Very Vanilla cardstock. I've got a piece of, there it is, soft suede cardstock at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And a piece of our Fluid 100 watercolor paper at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now this is our Fluid 100 watercolor paper. It's 100% cotton and it comes in this size. And you get 10 sheets in here. It's in the back of the catalog. Now it's in our annual catalog and it's kind of hidden back here on page 153. It's right here in the upper right hand corner. And so it kind of blends in with our other papers, especially with that rainbow glimmer paper. I mean, you open the page and it's, oh my gosh, rainbow glimmer paper. So don't forget our Fluid 100 watercolor paper is right here in the upper right hand corner of our annual catalog. Now with our Fluid 100, we are also going to be using our new water painters. Now, if you've been with Stampin' Up for a while, you may remember our old aqua painters that we have. Now, I like our new water painters because you get 3 different styles in your package that you get. And again, these are kind of hidden in the catalog as well. So on page 146 and 147, there's this itty bitty little picture right here of the water painters. And then on the opposite side, here's the description of them. So you get 3 painters for $12 in the back of the catalog. And I like these because they are 3 different tip sizes. So you have your bigger brush, your ultra fine tip, and your flat brush. And I'm gonna use my flat brush today. I'm gonna pair that with soft suede ink. And I just have a simple water palette that I got at a local art store. And I'm going to use my soft suede re-inker for this. Make sure I get all this out of the way so I don't get it on my paper. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a drop, just 1 drop of our soft suede ink right into my palette. Now the best part about these water painters is that you fill this end with water, they're refillable, and you can just squeeze it right into your palette. And that's how you're gonna get your watercolor wash. So the more water you put, the less bright and dark your wash is going to be. So I'm just going to take my paintbrush here, and it kind of looks like coffee. You got that there. And I'm just gonna brush it on my paper. The more you layer, the more it's gonna look, but I just want that to kind of look like a coffee spill. I don't want anything like perfect or circular for this. I really wanted it to look like somebody just spilled their coffee on their paper. Now when you have these aqua painters, you can take this to your sink, rinse this out, let it air dry, and you can use it for your next project. So these are able to be used over and over again. I'm gonna put that off to the side and hope I don't spill soft suede ink everywhere. Now, you could let this air dry, but because I am Facebook Live, I need to use my heat gun here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick this onto high gear, and I'm just gonna quick dry that soft suede ink. Now this heat gun gets very hot, so you wanna be careful when you use it. You don't wanna burn yourself, and you constantly want to move it around your paper. If you leave it in the same spot for too long, it can actually burn your paper, and you really don't want that. All right, it looks like we're just about done here with our watercolor wash. Now you can see the paper kind of curled a little bit, but it's easily pliable, and you can continue on even if it's a little bent there. Right, we're going to assemble now. I've got my Stampin' Seal. You're just gonna use, oh, actually we're gonna use dimensionals on this. So we've got our card base, our soft suede, and we're gonna put dimensionals on the back of this piece here. And then our watercolor piece is gonna be put on with Stampin' Seal. But we're gonna do some stamping first before I put that down. Now with the stamp set, it has kind of like this starburst look here. So I'm gonna get this stamp out, and while I have this open, we're gonna get the coffee cup stamp, if I can get that out of there. I kept this little middle piece. I'm sure there's something I can do with that later. And then the Hope Your Day is Full of Perks stamp set here. Great. So I've got my clear block I, which is the big long clear block, and just regular tuxedo Memento black ink for this starburst here. Right. And I'm just kind of gonna put it at the top of my watercolor wash because I want my coffee cup to be in the background. Now while I have this open, I'm also going to stamp on a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Actually, sorry, not Whisper White. I have a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock. That's for the other project. Very Vanilla cardstock and my clear block so I can stamp my coffee cup here. There we go. And we are going to clean that off and put my stamps away for this project, for these two. All right, let me know what you guys think about the stamp set. This is something that I wouldn't normally find in the holiday catalog. It has no real holiday aspects to it unless you create a holiday look to it, which I think could be fun. So I'm going to take my light crumb cake Stampin' Blend marker and just kind of quickly color in the cup. Most of it's going to be covered, so you don't have to color it too much. And then my light Mossy Meadow for the middle of the cup. I'm not doing any blending of colors on this because it is going to be covered with the sentiment. But I prefer coloring with these markers, the Stampin' Blend markers, even when I'm not going to be blending them, just because they have that brush tip to it and it's very easy. Cover this so I don't get that on my project. We are going to fussy cut. If you're not familiar with what fussy cutting is, it means there's no dies for this. So we're just going to be cutting here around the cup. This one's very quick and easy. You don't have to have a die for this. Lately, I've been using a lot of projects that don't need dies, and I think that's great. You don't have to have every project to have a die with it. Now, this set would pair really well with our other coffee cup stamp set that we have coming in the holiday catalog. And this one has like a little drink carrier to go with it, and you can fill them with chocolates, but they're on totally different pages, so they're not close to each other in the catalog. We're gonna use dimensionals on the back here for our cup. And put that kind of below it so it looks like the cup is having its shining moment. And then another piece of Very Vanilla cardstock for our sentiment. And I'm stamping this one in soft suede, which matches that watercolor wash that I did to the background. So we got this there. And you can hand trim this if you would like. But I'm just going to come in with my mini trimmer. I love this mini trimmer. If you joined Stampin' Up! During Celebration, you have one of these. I took the plastic guard off of mine. So my husband's always afraid that I'm gonna cut my finger off. So if you see me one day with no finger, it's because I cut my finger off with my paper trimmer. But I feel like I can see better and see exactly where I'm cutting more. So don't do what I do. taking that off. And then for final touch, we're just going to flag the ends. Just a quick cut up the middle and then corner to corner. Oh, Harvey is up. He's joining us today, as always, in the craft room. He loves to be in here. So Harvey says hi to everybody. He'll probably fall back asleep in a few minutes. He's really old, so all he does is sleep. The life of a spoiled dog. We're gonna take our Stampin' Seal, put that on the back here. Remember, I showed you last week the best way to use this new product is to run it down the edge. You're gonna tilt it straight up and flick it back. So you run that down, flick that back, and you'll always have adhesive onto your project. Now, if you saw the pictures of the project earlier yesterday or today when I posted them, you may have noticed that the project looks like this. Well, after I saw that, I decided to add some more embellishments and bling to the project. So I decided to use the faceted gems on here, and I used these like milky white opal looking ones, and I wanted to add just a little bit of bling here. You can never go wrong with bling. You always want to put your bling in a triangle, so in pairs, not pairs, but in threes, and it kind of makes it look a little more eye appealing when you do that. So here is our first project using the press on stamp set. Let me know what you think. This is a quick and easy watercolor project that you can make. You could easily change the watercolor wash to the background if I wanted to do that mossy meadow to pair with that Stampin' Blend that I did. But this is our first project. I hope you guys like that one a lot. All right, let's clean up my space here and bring in my second basket. All right, everybody is excited about this little K-Cup, and I love this. I cannot wait to show you guys how quick and easy it is to put together this little, it's not really a box, it's not really a bag, it's kind of just a treat holder, let's say that. All right, so I have a piece of crumb cake cardstock, and it's cut at 2 inches by 11 inches. And I'm going to come in with my score board, and I am going to score this. And we also have another piece of cardstock, crumb cake. Now this is a little odd for the numbers here. So this piece is 3 inches and 15/16. So just a hair shy of 4 inches on each side. So it's 3 by 15/16 and 3 by 15/16 on this. So for this piece here, we are going to score at, I had this written down, and where did it go? Where did my notes go for that? Oh, I know where they are. They're on this notebook in here. Sorry. I cleaned up right before Makers Monday and I put away what I needed. Okay, so we are going to score at the long piece at 4.5 and 6.5, and that's going to be our base. And then this weird 3 and 15/16, we are going to score at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So this scoreboard is great because it has all the little score numbers, so you know exactly where you're scoring. It comes with this little stylus pen here, and I use it on every project I make because I use it for folding my cards as well. So we are going to use our bone folder, and we're going to crisp up the lines on this. Now this is going to be the base of the little part that the K-Cup sits in. So it's actually 2 pieces put together. And we've got all 4 sides scored here. Now what you're gonna do is each tab here, you're gonna cut up to that 1 inch score line, and then you're gonna create little tabs just by cutting little notches off of each side. This will ensure that when you put the box together that nothing kind of overlaps, and everything will just tuck in together once you put that on there. So we're going to cut up there and here and there. I love cutting these notches. I don't know what it is, but cutting these little notches is just like, it's very therapeutic for me. It's strange, I know, but it feels fun for me to do that. Okay, we are going to use on this project our Stampin' Seal Plus. Now, if you watch along, you see me use Stampin' Seal just about on every project. But Stampin' Seal Plus is a little bit different. This is like Ultra Bond tape runner. Once it's put together on paper, it's not coming apart. So this is something that I use very sparingly. But on the back of these tabs is where I'm going to put our Stampin' Seal Plus here. And so you want to make sure that it's on the outside and that it kind of is going to glue everything together. Candy said this will be fun out of holiday cardstock and then holiday K-Cut flavors. You read my mind, Candy. I'm going to be making these for holidays, and I am really looking forward to it. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the tabs here and tucking them behind the flap, and then just kind of pressing that together. Now this last one is always a little tricky, so you just kind of have to tuck that in there. And then this is the little perch that your K-cup on the inside here will sit in. So for our outside area here, we're just going to fold in on those crease lines and fold again. And these are very easy that you can make a mass amount of these. So the dimensions that I'm giving you that I posted on that PDF for cutting the paper, you can get 2 of these holders out of 1 sheet of cardstock. So you can create a mass amount of these very easily out of a limited amount of cardstock as well. So this is our scalloped topper tag punch, and we want to cut it to 2 inches because that's what's going to fit right into our punch here. And see, it creates that little notch. Now, if you know any friends that are business owners and sell things that hang up, this is perfect because these can just get hung on those pegs like in a store. So those are fun for people to create tags with for holiday gifts too. I'm going to put that off to the side. Kind of a bulky punch though. So I have some pieces of, well, here they are. Now this is the new, where did it go? Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper. And this is from the new catalog as well. And I wanted to show you some of the sheets in here because they are so pretty. So this is the Gilded Autumn. It has copper, gold, and silver foiling on the paper. And I'll show you my favorite piece in here. It's right back here. There we go. Look at that. You have gold and copper foil together on this designer series paper. And it's mint macaron, crushed curry, and then very vanilla, I think, was the color. And then on the back side, you've got your early espressos, your crumb cake. So this is perfect for fall crafting on both sides, but I love this specialty paper here with the foil. So I've got 2 pieces of it here, and we have one piece that is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. So that's this piece here. And then these little tiny pieces are 3 3/4 by 3/4. So very small there. And here's the back of that. You could even do this with the houndstooth and it would look super cute as well. So we're going to use the regular Stampin' Seal for this, and I'm just going to use our tape runner to run down the edges, and we're going to adhere. Make sure you've got the back of your cup holder, and we're going to put that on that side, and then same thing on the other side. You want to make sure that your folds are going in so that you're not putting your paper on the wrong side. We're Just gonna press that down there. Now on this little box, because it's nestled in here, it's gonna be covered by two sides of these flaps. So you only need to put the designer series paper on those two sides that are going to show. So no need to waste paper if it's not gonna be seen. And then you just put that there, flip that over, put that more adhesive on this strip, and there we go. Now I'm going to use tear and tape to put this down. You can use Stampin' Seal if you want, but because it's a box and it's raised, it's a little harder to, you know, press down and not crush your box. So I'm going to use tear and tape. I'll get that little cotton ball out of there. We're going to be using that later. So just a couple small strips of tear and tape. You're going to run that there. Yes, Candy, that paper is so pretty. I am a sucker for fall paper. I love it. I don't want to cut it up because it's so pretty, but I love, and with the copper foil, it's extra pretty. So I'm using my take your pick tool to try to get the, there we go, the strip off the adhesive from our tear and tape. Now you want to make sure that your designer series paper is on the outside of your project. Don't do what I do yesterday and put the designer series paper on the inside and have to take it apart and then re-glue it down. So I just put that in the middle of our little thing here, making sure that the designer series paper is on the outside, and then just kind of working your fingers to press it together and make sure that's there. So here's the beginning of our little K-cup holder. Now for the top, this is new paper, new ribbon as well. This is called the, let me make sure, Basket Weave and Metallic Ribbon Combo Pack. So these two actually come together and they pair perfectly with that Gilded Autumn designer series paper. So I have my basket weave, and I'm just going to use 4 inches of this. You don't need very much because it's just going to go through the top. And we're going to line up our 2 tag punches and just thread our basket weave ribbon through there. And nope, that's going to come apart. So this is the copper metallic ribbon. Like I said, they come in a combo pack with this mint basket weave. And I'm just gonna use a little longer because I'm gonna tie a bow with this. So I did about 9 inches of this one. And you're gonna redo what I just did. Line up your 2 punches here, thread your basket weave ribbon through the top. And you could even use like a clothespin or a little binder clip to kind of keep this together. You know, I have a little binder clip right here. So let's binder clip this together just so it won't pop apart while I'm trying to tie it up. So we've got our copper ribbon. I was so sad when the copper ribbon in the annual catalog last year retired. And I wish this ribbon was in our annual catalog because mint macaron paired with this copper is very pretty. Right, we're gonna tie a bow, just a simple bow. You don't have to do any fancy tying here for this. Make sure everything's kind of even and tight, and then trim off your edges. And we are going to decorate now. Just kind of put everything together. I have a piece of vellum cardstock that I cut using the stitched shape. I'm just gonna tilt that so you guys can see the top. The stitch shaped vellum, and we're gonna use a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to stamp my teacup. This time I did a teacup. I felt like this was a little nicer for a cup of thanks. You could easily change out to do the big coffee cup if you want, but I liked the smaller size. And we're gonna stamp with Memento ink again. Get everything on there. As you can see, I have my space still covered with my grid paper because again, we're gonna be using our Stampin' Blends to color in the coffee cup. This time I'm using this cotton ball. This time I'm using the mint macaron, and from our previous project, the crumb cake markers as well. And this time I am going to use the light and dark so they are paired together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dark marker first. This is how I like to do my Stampin' Blends. I like to go with the dark first and kind of just color in a little shadow area. And don't worry, it's going to get covered when you come in with your light marker. And this is why my space is covered, because I'm going to blend the two colors together so that harsh line is not there. And see how it kind of still keeps that shadow look, but it blends the lines together. And that's why I'm covering my space, because the black or the Stampin' Blends can bleed through your paper. You always want to make sure that your space is covered when working with Stampin' Blends. Another tip with working with these is that you don't want to go too close to the edge of whatever you're coloring. These colors tend to feather a little bit. So as you can see, when I colored in my dark, I didn't go all the way to the edge. I just kind of scribbled in and left that blank part in there. So you don't want to color all the way to the edge because it will bleed into the edge of your project there. And then the middle, you can just blend those colors here until those harsh lines go away. And I'm just doing this quickly. You could always spend more time and make it look more professional. But that's how you do the dark and light blending together with Stampin' Blends. Oh, I forgot to color the handle here. And I'm not blending the handle. I just did one color because, again, with the bleeding, you don't want to do, it's too close of a line to try to do shadows in there. Again, fussy cut, you don't need dies for this. It'd be fun to have some. I mean, if you're making a massive amount of coffee cups, I would not want to hand cut all of these out. But just a quick snip. You got some easy lines to cut around, so this will be fun. So with the new catalog that starts tomorrow for all customers, I can pre-order as a demonstrator the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I'm very excited to be able to pre-order that. My previous die cut machine is on its last legs. After being used for 10 years as a demonstrator and all those class preps that you guys like to attend, my previous die cutting machine is just about kaput. So I'm excited to pre-order that new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine tomorrow. All right, for this little puff here, I took a regular cotton ball and just kind of pried off a little bit of cotton. A little of this goes a long way, so you really don't need too much, but what I did is I just kind of molded it to make it look kind of fluffy and like steam coming off of my cup. I used a little bit of just regular liquid glue, and you don't want a lot. With cotton, it's so thin that you don't want to add too much because it can bleed right through there. So just a tiny bit, and I'm putting it right on the lip of the cup. And I kind of want to shove it behind. Since we use the dimensionals, it has that raised look to it. So I want to tuck it behind there. Let's see, I got fluff stuck on me, and that makes it look like you've got some steam, or depending on how much fluff you put, it could be whipped cream as well, or latte foam, whichever. So you have a variety of ways to use this. Now on the back here, I'm going to use regular Stampin' Seal adhesive. Now you noticed that I did not put my vellum paper first and then layer on top of that. With vellum, it's because it's semi-clear. Any adhesive that you put on it, you'll be able to see. So I put my cup down first so I know exactly where to add my adhesive where it won't be shown through the back of the cup. And then you're just gonna place that on the holder. And for our sentiment, a cup of thanks, I'm using soft suede ink as well, like I did on our previous project. And I'm just going to hand cut, or use my little mini paper trimmer to cut this out. So there's no special paper size for this, just a quick cut here. So we've got this, there's our sentiment there. I hope I'm not frozen again. My computer stopped, so I'm just gonna refresh it, see what it does. Let me know if I'm frozen. Doesn't look like it on my end. There we go. Looks like I'm still going. Internet, gotta love it, gotta love it. It was starting to get really cloudy outside when I started my Makers Monday. I had hoped it was going to thunderstorm because we have had 0 monsoons here this season, but it looked like it kind of fizzled and went another direction, I guess. Where are the monsoons? I mean, it has not really rained here yet this season, and we desperately need the rain. My cactus in my backyard is actually brown. That can tell you how dry it is here. When a cactus is brown, that's how you know something's up. So I just used my paper trimmer to trim off the edges of this. You don't need anything special. You can flag the ends if you want. So I'm just gonna cut that quick and then adhere that to the project. Quick cuts. And like I said, you could put a hot chocolate K-cup in here, tea. There's iced tea ones now. Like Candy said, there's gonna be holiday ones any day. You could do some pumpkin spice ones. Everybody loves pumpkin spice except me. And then to finish off the project, I'm using these new little speckled embellishments from the new holiday catalog. They're gold and red, and they have little gold flakes in them. Each one seems to be different than the next, and I just put that in the cup for a little bit of bling right there. And to finish off the project, I have my K-cup, and you can just tuck that right on the inside. So there is our last project for today, featuring the press-on stamp set. So as a reminder, I hope you enjoyed our projects today using this new stamp set, available starting tomorrow from the new August through December mini catalog. If you haven't received a catalog and you don't have a current demonstrator, in the description of this video, you can sign up to receive a free catalog from me, and I will send that out tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to you getting your hands on this catalog. It's really great. If you're interested in August class to go, sign up deadline is August 15th, and all the details again are on the description of this video, as well as the step-by-step PDF for all the products that I used for the projects today. I hope you all have an amazing week. I hope you stay cool, and I will see you next week for another week of Makers Monday. Bye.